Hey, what's up everybody? Stupid Skull Studios here, doing my video for Game of the Year 2015, or at least my personal Game of the Year 2015. And before you start speculating, no, The Witcher 3 is not my Game of the Year. I know I'm showing footage of it right now, but it's just, background footage. You'll get to see what my actual Game of the Year is in a minute, and I'll explain why. But first off, basically, this video will actually be like my top 3 games of 2015. I was originally planning on doing a whole top 5, top 10 games of 2015, but I don't really have the time to go and get footage for all of these games right now. I'm working on other projects right now, so yeah, just top 3, the 3 games that stood out to me the most. And then I'll quickly list, I guess, my other games for the top 10 list. So I guess number 10, The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. Number 9, Super Mario Maker. Number 8, Star Wars Battlefront. Yes, Star Wars Battlefront. I actually did enjoy that game quite a bit. Number 7, Fallout 4. Yes, Fallout 4 is actually that far back. Number 6, Batman Arkham Knight, which I have a review of, and you can check it out on my channel. Number 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, very underrated game. And number 4 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So without further ado, let's get into my top 3. So at number 3 we have Bloodborne, which I also do have a review of the game that I will be posting soon, so if you'd like to hear more thoughts on this game from me, then that will be up soon. But basically, to sum it up, since I don't really need to talk too long about this game since I have a full review of it. I love the atmosphere of this game. I love the combat, and to me, this was the most surprising video game of the year. Not because, I wasn't surprised about the quality of the game. I knew before this game came out, I knew that this was going to be a good game. I knew that this game would be of good quality. I just wasn't sure if I would personally enjoy the game as much as I actually did. I think the game might even be leaning towards going into my top 10 favorite games of all time. Well, at least top 20, probably. I really do love this game a lot. I put many hours into the game. Yeah, like I said, I'll elaborate more on my thoughts on this game in the review that I'm going to be posting soon, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, Bloodborne at number 3. And at the number 2 spot is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider was the best game that I played on the Xbox this year. Yes, I actually do. We went from a PS4 exclusive to an Xbox One exclusive. I actually do have all 3 of the systems. I also, a Wii U, and yeah, what can I say? I mean, this game is freaking awesome. I'm a really big fan of Tomb Raider, both the original series and the 2013 reboot. So I was really excited for this game, and it definitely lived up to the hype for me, and it was just an extremely fun game from beginning to end, with a much better story than the last Tomb Raider game, and, some cool new mechanics, yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to do a review of this game, but I'll consider it. Yeah, it was just, this is just the kind of game that I love. I love these very cinematic, third-person shooter, adventure kind of games. I also love, Indiana Jones style adventure stuff. I love the Indiana Jones movies and the Uncharted games. I can't wait for Uncharted 4, by the way, but anyway, and, I was kind of thinking to myself a little while ago, Uncharted 4 is definitely going to be better than Rise of the Tomb Raider. But now, actually, after playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think Uncharted 4 has some pretty stiff competition, I must say. So yeah, that's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now let's move on to the big one. My game of the year for 2015. So Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is my game of the year for 2015, and there are lots of reasons for that. First, I want to mention that I don't think that this game is perfect in any way. I don't think any games are perfect. You know, even The Witcher 3, even though The Witcher 3 was very good, and so were Bloodborne and Rise of the Tomb Raider, they all have their flaws to them. But I think that Metal Gear Solid 5, in my eyes, is very close to perfection, and it's just the game that I had the most fun with, put the most hours into, and I also really, really like the story. In fact, despite all the problems that the story has, it's actually my favorite story in a video game in 2015. You know, it was the most interesting, the most entertaining, the most thought-provoking. Really disappointed to hear about the cut content in this game, but I think without it, the content that's still there is just amazing. The gameplay is so open-ended. There are so many different possibilities for what you can do. The controls are perfect. The frame rate, it runs at a butter smooth 60 frames per second with 1080p HD graphics. Barely any glitches. I mean, I'd probably say that like 95, at least 95, maybe even 98% of my playtime with this game has had no glitches, and that's not even really like, I'm not like joking. This game runs like flawlessly. It has so much polish. It's easily the most polished open world game I've ever played, and yeah, it's just, this game will always have a big place in my heart. I've spent the past few years, you know, building up this hype for the game, watching the trailers, seeing the game go through its development cycle, and these are just memories that I'm always gonna have with me. Well, that and the memories of playing the game, of course, and talking about the game with people. And yeah, for me, Metal Gear Solid 5 was the biggest entertainment release of the year. I was even more excited for it than Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is really saying a lot. Metal Gear Solid 5 is just a must-own game. I think even if you haven't played the Metal Gear Solid games, you should still give this a try, and you should definitely just play the entire series. It's amazing. I will admit that I do have a bit of a bias in this choice, seeing how Metal Gear Solid is probably my favorite video game series of all time, and yeah, but the main reason for my decision, as I've said before, is that this is the game that I had the most fun playing in 2015, and, you know, enjoyed the story. And yeah, this game is just freaking phenomenal. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. Go play it right now if you haven't. So that was my game of the year of 2015. Hopefully 2016 will be awesome. It's certainly looking awesome. And yeah, 2015 was a great year. And I'll see you guys next year in 2016. Have a good one.